Please rise as you are able.
Not yet, I'm not saying nothing. But once he crosses that stage, he is.
Huh?
Once he rocks across that stage, I will. Yeah, I think he's Rodmaker. He starts again.
It's funny too because like he looks like he'd be like medieval mage just with the way he walks. He's like, yeah, whatever.
There he is. Right there in the sunglasses.
Way to go, Jordan!
Look at him. He's like, see, he was looking until you had to say something.
I was doing it from now on.
There he is.
Yep, you're right now.
Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know why we did it, but now I regret not thinking of it. I was gonna buy poppers, but I'm afraid people knew it was a shooting and it would not end.
Put it on your head.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Please remain standing as you are able. To begin our ceremony today, I call graduating senior Danny Simpson to the stage. Danny has been a leader on campus since his freshman year. He's an involved and passionate student, excels in his classes, and works hard at everything he does. He lives within the true spirit of liberal arts environmental education through his love for the outdoors, gardening, food, and cooking, and shares his passions with friends and family. Danny dedicates himself to sustainability and service and represents the ideals of Northland College. Danny will lead us in the invocation.
In celebration of our individual and collective accomplishments throughout the past several years, on this joyous day we call upon those here with us, those here physically, and those in spirit, to accept our offering of prayers.
We offer the following blessing to all in attendance today, but especially to our graduates.
Mother, Father, Creator, Universal Power, help us to recognize our inseparability from the earth and the effect of our actions on other beings.
Awaken in us and guide the urgency to make the wisest of decisions for the next 7 generations.
Help us to not perpetuate the isolative notion of otherness and reject the separation of self from other, human from nature, and society from the earth.
Awaken in us and guide the strength to speak up in a humble and graceful way for justice and equality.
Help us to accept the interconnectedness of existence and recognize the intrinsic value we all possess.
Awaken in us and guide the drive to choose relentlessness over restlessness while we listen carefully in order to lead with our hearts.
Help us to make peace and love with Earth's inhabitants by working to heal impaired connections between all humans and non-humans, and understand that any effort to heal the human-earth ecology ultimately heals ourselves.
Awaken in us and guide the desire to walk through this life in a good way, with the utmost respect, honesty, and love.
As we prepare to embark from our current home and commence a new adventure, one around the corner, across the state, across the country, or throughout the world, help us to carry the tangible spirit and energy of this place. For it is this energy of place that has permeated our essence and defined our experience that uniquely positions us to effect environmental, societal, and cultural change.
And as lifelong learners, may we remember that, to paraphrase the great Nez Perce leader Chief Joseph, much trouble would be saved if we opened our hearts more. And it does not require many words to speak the truth. Thank you, Danny. Please be seated. Leadership requires keeping balance and retaining focus. To lead a college requires anticipation, balance, thoughtful words, visionary thinking, and a compassionate heart. Which brings me to Dr. Michael Miller, a person I consider a colleague and a true friend. For the last 8 years, he has built upon the Northland traditions of inclusiveness, empathy, community, and the sincere goal of sending students out to change the world. He once said that
Already
students
getting
gave
them
him
out. I'm
hope
not
in
gonna
an
wait.
uncertain world, and that students are the reason he gets out of bed each day and to the office. Dr. Miller will be retiring next month. Expect to see him out fishing or paddleboarding on Lake Superior. We will all miss his steady presence. It is my special privilege to invite Dr. Miller to greet you and to preside over the 107th Northland College commencement. President Miller?
Put your hat on.
Thank you, Kat, and thank you, Danny. It's a very special day today for all of us. We're getting the beautiful weather that we hoped for, and so I'm hopeful you all can have a great memory of this day. It's very important. It's my honor to welcome you to campus today. On behalf of the college and the Northland community, I extend congratulations to the class of 2018. Allow me to make several introductions and special recognitions. Members of the platform party include, starting from your left, Katrina Warshowski, Demery Mulliken, President of the Northland College Staff Council and Executive Director of Institutional Marketing and Communications. Teach Mateel, the Dean of Admissions and Financial Aid. Les Aldrich, Vice President of Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty. Chad Dayton, incoming board chair and representing the Northland College Board of Trustees. Tammy McGee, interim chief financial officer. Hal Haynes, vice president of student affairs and dean of students. And Brian Tuchterman, president of the Northland College
Dad's gonna
Faculty
knock it
Council
off.
and associate
Stop.
professor of sustainable community development. I also want to recognize other trustees here today besides Chad. Damaris Brinton is with us. Mary Rice. And Craig Mullenbrock is here with his wife Nancy. Student trustee Matthew Kazuta. Matthew, where are you? How's it going, boss? Former President Bob Parsonage and his wife Ruth Lowe are with us today. Thanks for coming, Bob and Ruth. And my partner in everything, Dr. Mary Tretton. Will the faculty and staff of Northland College please stand and remain standing? In recognition of your dedication, expertise, and care for these graduates, we thank you. You have served tirelessly as educator, advisor, mentor, supporter, motivator, cheerleader, and partner. All of this makes Northland remarkable. Graduates, parents, and friends, please join me in demonstrating appreciation for our dedicated educators. Thank you. You may be seated. Will the parents, family members, and special friends of the graduates of the class of 2018 please stand as you're able? As we join here in celebration today, we thank you for the nurturing support that you have provided your sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters, sisters and brothers, and special friends. Thank you for trusting the faculty and staff of Northland College to help your loved ones continue to grow and learn as students and as people. As we've nurtured and educated them, they have in turn nurtured and educated us in countless ways. For this, we are grateful. Thank you. You may be seated. Well, graduates, here you are. Here's the big day. This is the commencement. The past couple of days, you've had the opportunity to celebrate with the champagne toast, to make some final memories with many of your friends and family at the Confluence last night, to reflect and express gratitude at the baccalaureate, and now to commence at commencement. To move forward, to launch, to engage, that is to come. Literally or figuratively, you're going to cross the bridge and drive away. And we hope you do that with the energy and the education and the power and the support that we've offered you. It's very exciting for you, and it's very, very exciting for the rest of us at the college that will remain. We will remain with you in spirit, stand ready to remain in relationship with you as you engage that challenging world, as you find your new place and position in the world, and as you find new, joyful, and beautiful adventures and communities. Enjoy the day. Cut.
We extend our gratitude and are pleased to honor you all here today. In token of our esteem, we offer this honor song in recognition of all of those receiving their degrees today. This song pays tribute and respect to all who have walked the path of higher education before us, those who will come after us, today's graduates, and those who have supported every student in some way. We welcome the Buffalo Bay Singers. For this song, we ask that you please rise and remove your headwear as you are able.
Thank you to the Buffalo Bay Singers. You may be seated. You honor us today by being here. Thank you, Buffalo Bay Singers. We are a college in Indian country. We are on Ojibwe land, and we recognize and honor that. As they're moving, I'd like to introduce the new president-elect at Northland College, Marvin Swalmy. Marvin, can you stand? Wait. We're very excited about his leadership and the next chapter, and his bright orange ties are just very special. So thank you for being here, Marvin. Well, this next piece is very special for me. I'm very pleased and honored to introduce our student speaker, Kinsey Neal. I've had the pleasure to know and work with Kinsey in her role as president of NCSA. Kinsey has distinguished herself as a positive community leader who advocates and accomplishes change. During her 3 years at Northland, she has participated on committees that submitted development plans to the city of Ashland, increased the number of gender-neutral bathrooms on campus, and most recently convinced the Board of Trustees to divest from fossil fuels. She is a remarkable person, joyfully bold, and a partner with a smile that just lights the room. Kinsey's leadership and achievements are impressive. We are excited to see what her future holds. Her contributions to Northland College make her an outstanding choice to address our commencement ceremony. Please join me in welcoming your student speaker, Kinsey Neal.
I love this place. These words are spoken like an incantation here. They're words with power. These words fill our hearts and souls while participating in this community that we are so proud of. And when that's not true, it is a motivational speech that allows us to build and grow. I love this place. I actually started writing this in April, which is a shocking feat of forethought I wish I had been able to apply to my schoolwork. But anyway, back in April, we had our first really warm day, probably 34 degrees, but the sun was out and the snow was melting and everyone's windows were open. So there was just this wonderful cacophony of students emerging from our winter caves. I could recognize my neighbors' laughs. I could guess who was trying to learn a new song on the guitar, and I could hear excited shouts from the ravine as a new trail was formed to fit the landscape the spring melt had left behind. Comfortable and familiar sounds of Northland. I was so moved by what we've built here. You know, I think every one of us would explain Northland a little differently to a stranger. Maybe you came here for the fish, or the sky blue waters, or the northern lights. Maybe you couldn't believe you could go camping for class, or you wanted to have academic discussions about considering the earth a romantic partner. Perhaps you had a passion for sidewalks. Whatever Northland means in your heart, we've come together to translate our unique talent and passion into a sense of camaraderie, exploration, drive, and joy. And the result is us, right here, right now, about to receive pieces of paper certifying that we are ready to make our mark on the world. This ceremony is a demonstration of everything we've been able to accomplish through the marvelous power of our differences. One of my favorite writers to cite is Jane Jacobs, whose book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, is required reading for all sustainable community development majors like myself, as well as anyone who has had the pleasure of stumbling upon our introductory class. Jacobs advises that the ideas in her book aren't relevant outside of large cities, but she's also one of my favorite people to critique, so I'm going to apply her concepts to our college experience. After 200 pages of musings on sidewalks that make her infamous on this campus, Jacobs outlines what she calls generators of diversity. The first is mixed uses, A city street where one can live, work, or play encourages encounters between a miscellany of pedestrians whose separate business has brought them to the same place. As liberal arts students, specifically environmental liberal arts students, we can all appreciate the value in this. Climate change is the defining problem of our generation, and we came to Northland to learn what to do about it. To address climate change, we must learn from other cultures. We must analytically dissect all the data available to make predictions and to understand the effects we're already experiencing. We need to know how to read rocks so the Earth can tell us her own story. We must be well versed in the delicate ecosystems of forests and lakes to mitigate damage. We need to be aware of how climate change will affect us all differently, making it an issue of justice. The gravity and urgency of combating climate change has to be communicated in every way possible. This means making nature a foundation for educational experiences. This means creatively making facts of climate change accessible through art and literature. And this means building new systems so we don't have to put the value of people and the earth in economic terms. Without Northland, these perspectives might have stayed separate. But here we have learned to mix our expertise and work with each other and our distinct viewpoints to create holistic solutions. Next, Jacob writes about the need for small blocks. We've all walked across Benega Bridge alone at night. It can be a little spooky, and depending on what's going on with the composter, it can be a little smelly. It's a stretch of walkway with no opportunity to change course or intersect with something that's not on your direct route. Much like a long city block with few open businesses, there are often just few fellow pedestrians, if any. In cities, as in life, walking alone can be uncomfortable. I think this is a good thing. If ever we find ourselves far down a path without anyone else, this discomfort encourages critical reflection. Sometimes this will mean that we are radicals and innovators on a path that's empty because it's undiscovered. Perhaps more often, however, we may be misguided and in desperate need of a change of route. Short blocks allow for regular glimpses onto other streets, and this perspective is an important guide. We have a responsibility to attempt to understand the experience of others, because it helps us be more comprehensive in our compassion. Then, Jacobs emphasizes the importance of old buildings. There is aesthetic value in this, as I hope you have all experienced in our own historic Main Street. Old buildings, whatever occupies them currently, offer a reminder of what was and context for what is now. We have to be conscious of history to make change. History helps us be grateful for people who have fought so hard for how we are able to live now, and encourages us to keep working. History reveals the increased carbon emissions and depleted ecosystem health that remind us we are not stewarding the land that we stole. Wherever we go next, there will be history to contend with. It will be connected to places we find ourselves, our professions, and people we meet. There's a lot of hope in history. We really have come so far, but we cannot ignore the darker chapters. Finally, Jacobs emphasizes the importance of density. To many of us Northlanders, I know the thought of cities overcrowded with buildings and millions of people is claustrophobia inducing. From a planning perspective, this is really important for efficiently using limited resources, but density is not about congestion. The importance of density is that we can wander out of our comfort zone without going very far or even realizing it. Immersive experiences provide countless opportunities for growth. Maybe that is living in a city for you. Maybe immersing yourself in wilderness will teach you something about yourself that you can't explain to anyone else. Coming to college certainly offered concentrated new experiences, and leaving will present even more. Learning through and celebrating our differences is essential because community is not just a group of people. It is an active choice. It is a process. The work we have accomplished at Northland, inside the classroom and out, has given us building blocks of community that we will be using our whole lives. We have learned this through late nights at the library and at the bar, through challenging and being challenged by our peers, and loss and unexpected change and really cold winters and countless other hardships. And now, well, not now specifically, but the sun has come out just for us, and all we need to do is celebrate and maybe pack. I am so honored to be a part of this class. I'm so grateful for all of the help we've received from the faculty and staff. And I'm overjoyed that so many of our friends and family were able to come celebrate with us. I'm looking forward to seeing how the friendships we've made here will grow and change as we take this step together that will lead us apart. Now we just get to read books for fun and build careers and fall in love and start the rest of our lives. And that is so wonderful. Class of 2018, thank you for your time today and for these past years. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kinsey, for your grace and your wisdom and your inspiration. Many families here today will remember I have the honor to address prospective students and their families, and I frequently talk about the education that our faculty and staff provide, and that because of the weaving of pieces together, our students become wise well before their years. I rest my case. Today we celebrate the purpose of the college, the fulfillment of our mission to you, and the deep sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. It's my privilege to call upon the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Les Aldrett, and Trustee Chad Dayton to present the class of 2018.
Thank you, President Miller. Will the members of the class of 2018 please stand? This day marks the culmination of years of rigorous studies for these graduate candidates, and it reflects great pride and accomplishment for the students and their families. Some members of the class before us are wearing gold honor cords. They've distinguished themselves by earning a grade point average of 3.5 or higher in their studies. We recognize this remarkable academic accomplishment. President Miller, the candidates before us have completed all the requirements for their courses of study and for graduation from Northland College. Upon recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to present the class of 2018 to you for the respective degrees.
And on behalf of the trustees of Northland College, I congratulate you, the members of the 2018 graduating class, for your achievements in earning your baccalaureate degrees. It is my hope, and that of all the other trustees, that the knowledge and skills you have gained and the values and relationships you have formed here will serve you well throughout your lives. And through your participation in the world, you will continue to contribute to the common good. Now, upon recommendation by the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I authorize the awarding of the degrees.
Candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Northland College, I now confer upon you your respective degrees, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. As a symbol of the achievement and honor, I award you the privilege of your diploma. It now gives me great pleasure to present each graduate individually. I ask Brian Tuchterman, representing the faculty, to join us. Kat Warchowski will read the names of the graduates. Candidates, please be seated and follow the directions of your marshals.
Madeline Baird. Petter Steve Billy.
Peter or Petter?
Eliza Jane Chavez. Molly Rose Graff. Shelby Renee Hine. Aiden Johan. Daniel Kunch. Laura Lokes. Logan Jerome Lowry. Elizabeth J. Mackin. Taylin Renee McFarland. Zakia Moody. Kinsey Evelyn Neal. Catherine Nolan. Austin John Polno. Charles Potvin. Victoria Laura Shell. Sadie Tomorrow Schmidt. Rosie Smith. Evan Paul Volmer. John Aparicio Aguirre. Shona Aird. Corey Amel. Olivia Anderson. Areli Bermudez Alvarado. Allison Betcher.
Jonah!
Alex Leo Brostowitz. Matthew Champ. Rose Clark. Tom Davis. Mason Daniel DJ. Hannah DeWitt. Matthew R. Drager. Rachel Kylie Fisher. Jacob Friel. Olivia Garceau. Samuel Gilkinson. Jasmine and Jeanette Gomez. Kyle Graham. Ellen Groholski. Heidi Lynn Gunther. Alexander Hansen Rosenberg. Haley Hersher. Rio Jackson.
What? You did. Why don't you have it over now?
Esler Shaughnessy Andrassi. Heather Jensen.
Why? You were fine.
Andrew Philip Casson. Vajit Kudka. Annan Livingston Killian.
Can she please have a Band-Aid?
She's fine.
Jane
She's not bleeding
Sakai
everywhere. She's
Kataka.
fine. It's a waste of a Band-Aid.
Allie Monahan Kohler. Elena Corpola.
I told you Jane had like 4 freaking
Matthew
tassels.
Kazuda.
Jackson, not this row, but the
Hayden
next one.
Carl Kotwitz. Thomas Krogman. Madison Laughlin. Araya Clarissa Law. Will Lee. Mackenzie Lemon. Alexander R. Lohberger.
My name is Alexander.
Harrison Gregory Lucas. Seamus Mackinac. Charles Mason. Jenna Miles, aka Shoe. Kyle Moore. Nathan Nichols.
There he is.
Brooke Ashley Neerman. Jordan O'Gara.
Look, he's
Brad
got a Pokeball on his
Oman.
hat. That guy's got a Pokeball on his hat.
Ryan
My purse.
Padros.
Take it off.
Samuel Paulson. Tim Perks. Axel Peterman. Max Flughaft. Jason Rabatsky. Hector Ramos. Ryan Rashke. Laura Anastasia Rethman. Jacob Rodmaker. Kimberly Ann Roguski. Emily Elizabeth Romwald.